I never expected moving would change me like this. The house sits at the edge of a forest, almost swallowed by it. I thought the isolation would be peaceful. Quiet mornings with coffee on the porch, evenings listening to birds, the kind of life I always wanted. When I first saw it, I fell in love. A little old house, wood weathered to gray, surrounded by pine and oak. It looked abandoned, but not in a frightening way, more like it was waiting for someone to care. Moving in was exhausting. Every corner smelled of dust, mildew, and the faint scent of pine sap. The floors creaked under my steps. The windows rattled slightly with the wind, and I told myself it was normal. Old house, old floors, old walls. The first night was strange. I unpacked a few boxes, set up a lamp, and sat on the porch. The forest looked close enough to touch. Shadows between the trees shifted, though the wind was still. I shook it off. I was tired. I was imagining things. The next morning, I found a small pile of leaves on the porch, neatly stacked as if someone had placed them there. I live alone. I have no neighbors nearby. I convinced myself it was the wind, or maybe an animal. Nothing more. Days passed. I unpacked, cleaned, set up the kitchen. I could feel the forest pressing close, and the house creaked constantly, but I told myself I was being paranoid. Then the small things began. A chair slightly out of place. A cup missing from the counter, though I had left it there. The keys I set on the table vanished and returned somewhere else. Objects moved when I wasn't looking. I tried to rationalize it. Maybe I was tired, maybe careless, maybe imagining things. Then came the sounds. Footsteps at night in the hallway. Floorboards creaking above me when nobody could be there. Soft tapping at the walls. The wind made it worse sometimes, carrying strange, almost human sounds. Sometimes I thought I heard breathing. Not mine, not the house's, but something else, something alive. Sleep became shallow. I woke at odd hours, convinced someone was standing in the corner of the room, just beyond my sight. I'd hold my breath, staring, until nothing moved, and I convinced myself I was imagining it. Weeks passed, and it escalated. One night, I left a light on in the living room, went to the kitchen for water, and saw it. A figure standing at the edge of the forest. Human-like, but its movements were stiff, unnatural. Watching. I froze. My heart slammed. I blinked, and it was gone. The forest was empty, still. I began leaving small offerings. A cup of water on the porch, a piece of bread, scattered leaves. I don't know why. Respect? Fear? Instinct? I felt like I had to acknowledge it, even if it was only in my imagination. The house became stranger. Doors creaked open on their own. Floorboards groaned under invisible weight. Windows rattled with no wind. I felt the house itself shifting, alive, aware of me, and aware of it. I tried to leave once, packed a bag, drove into town. The streets felt normal, safe. But when I returned, the forest pressed against the house. The presence returned, stronger, closer, watching, always watching. I started keeping a journal, writing everything down. Every sound, every shadow, every whisper. Sometimes, I caught my own words staring back at me as if mocking. Sometimes, I felt eyes on me while I wrote. Nights grew worse. I would wake every hour, hear whispers, shadows moving in the corner. Sometimes, I thought I saw shapes resembling human faces among the trees. vanishing when I looked directly. I stopped rationalizing. I stopped trying to fight it. I learned to walk softly, speak softly, to avoid drawing attention. Even coffee became ritual. Sip slowly, never look up too quickly, never make sudden movements. I began noticing changes in myself. My sleep was gone. My appetite was irregular. My heart raced for no reason. But I survived. I moved carefully through the house, through life. I accepted the watching, the waiting. The forest seemed alive. The house seemed alive. And I was just surviving. Not living, not sleeping, not truly awake. Just existing, trying not to draw attention. Sometimes, on the porch at night, I see shapes between the trees. Eyes glowing faintly, moving subtly. I don't look directly. I don't need to. I know it is there. Patient, watching, waiting. And I sip my coffee, pretending I belong, pretending I'm part of this, though I know I never will be. The house breathes. The forest breathes. And I exist only in their rhythm, a silent observer trapped in my own life. I don't know how long I will survive like this. I don't know if it wants me here or not. All I know is that I can't leave. Not really. Because once you see it, really see it, the forest and the house, part of you becomes theirs, and you can never go back.